Greetings. My name is Sarah Elaine Ramirez, also known as SE. Welcome to my world. So here we have the pencil line art in TIFF format, which is the best quality for scanned images. Now the first thing I do is I make a copy of the source document, don't want any accidents, and change it from grayscale to RGB color. I save it as a PDF. I rename the background layer to pencils, save it, then I lock it so that I don't accidentally draw on it, and I make a separate layer on top of it called inks. I realize that I have a kind of a boring, high-pitched voice, but when you're doing a demonstration, you tend to sound kind of like Ben Stein at times, I would think. But I digress. Anyway, now I zoom in so I can get a better look at what I'm doing, at least 100%, usually more, and I can start my outline. Right now I'm using the brush tool and starting with a size 5 brush. That's about the thickness of the pigment liner I use to do the main outlines in my traditional art too, so it works out. Now I don't always follow the lines exactly, and that's okay. It's outlining, not art theft. I'm doing all the thick lines first, which in this case is most of what the drawing is composed of anyway. I'll use a smaller brush later for the minor lines. As you can see, I'm using black for the outline here. Using the method illustrated in this demonstration, you can actually use any color you want for the outline. I'm using black because it's aesthetically appropriate for this picture, but also because of a different technique I like to use, where a black outline is the only one that actually works. But I'll get into that another day. You know, I think this is the longest I've actually gotten to talk about something important to me without getting interrupted. I should just sit on the toilet and respond to people through videos all the time. Make sure you have a set of shortcuts memorized in case you make a mistake. The default for Photoshop CS2, which is what I'm using here, is Ctrl-Z on Windows, and Ctrl-Alt-Z will take you back multiple steps. Rest assured, I use that shortcut a lot. I also use the history a good deal. Just click that little square in the history that says to set the source for the history brush. If you get too far into your project and realize that you screwed up, you can only Ctrl-Z so many times before you're stuck. But when you click that box, it gives you sort of a checkpoint to start from without having to start over completely. See? Just had to undo what I did there. It's a lot harder to freehand the straight lines than the curved ones. I could use the line tool for that, but I feel like it takes up too much of my time when I use it. And it can look weird if you don't get the line width exactly right, or match up the gaps perfectly. But to each their own. Right now some of the lines look a little thick and make the image look kind of flat, but that's okay. Once I finish drawing all the lines in place, I'll go over the picture with the eraser brush and fine-tune it. And remember to save often. You never know when your computer is going to take a swan dive into oblivion. In fact, my desktop computer died earlier this year, so for the time being I have to use my laptop to do all this. First world problems, I know, but when you're in the business of art, it's very important to have the right tools for the job. Also, when you want to zoom in and out, hold the space bar and press Ctrl or Alt to zoom in and out, respectively. That's a very useful feature, and I use it all the time. Not sure if I want to use thick lines or thinner lines on that area. As you can see from the pencil drawing, the gloves are going to be black. In theory, I could fill them in right now during the line art stage, but I think I'd rather do that once I'm ready to add color. It'll make shading and highlighting easier. Not to mention the possibility of wanting to change the color of the gloves later. I probably won't, but you know, just in case. It's taken me years to develop this level of skill for tablet. I used to have problems with lines being shaky or stray marks being left in random places from the pen sensitivity. Occasionally I still have that problem, but I think I've gotten a lot better now than I was, say, 8 years ago. And in case you were wondering, this video is sped up. It actually took me close to an hour to outline in detail this entire picture, but I captured it at a faster frame rate. That was by accident, but you're probably already tired of my voice as it is, so it works out. I always find the face to be the most difficult, personally. The face and the hair. There's always a lot of detail in there that captures the expression of the character. And I guess I'll outline the shoulder straps in size 5 after all. Take a quick look to see how the lines look by themselves, and now comes the fun part. All those wispy little lines that make up the hair. This is where the eraser brush is going to come in handy when it's time to detail those lines. It's okay if they look too thick right now, so I can go back and thin them out later if I need to. And I will. Still, I'm going to leave some lines uninked for now, so I can go over them with a thinner brush size when I'm ready. What's nice about doing the hair is that it's hard to make a mistake here, because the lines don't necessarily have to be uniform, or even perfectly matching the pencil guide. But variation in line thickness is important in achieving the right hair texture, because as you can see, it's starting to get a little crowded over here. It's like a family reunion without the courtesy of a buffet. Can't wait to thin those lines out. For the sake of this demonstration, I'll hold off for now. And we're almost done here. Oops, got a little too bunched right there. And now I'm changing the brush size to size 3, which can easily be done by using the brackets as hotkeys. Whoops. Actually, size 4 is better in this case. Anyway, I'm going to fill in the lines I skipped over earlier with thinner lines to add more of a balanced line weight. And I can adjust the brush size if necessary as I go along to get some of those tiny facial details. I just use the bracket keys to toggle between smaller and bigger brushes. Sorry about the sudden difference in sound quality. It's taken me a long time to record the narration for this video, and now I'm doing on an actual mic instead of my laptop mic, and oh, now back to the hair. See, it's looking better already. I figure I should leave a bit of sustained silence in there, so this video doesn't sound like one of those badly dubbed anime where they feel the need to add voiceover every time a character's face appears on the screen. Ah, wait, I ruined it already. Just a little bit more, and there we go. Okay, now we go in the eraser brush and just thin out some lines, make the lines come to a point so it looks like it was done with pen and ink. Give it a little bit of depth, volume, mix that line weight up. And you can change the size of the eraser brush the same as the regular brush, you know, with the 2 little bracket tools to make things easier. Oops, there's a couple of lines I forgot to add in. And it's especially important to add these details in on the face. See how those eyelashes look more curved already? Taper the eyebrows and the hair. Yeah, especially the hair.
But you don't want to go too overboard. Remember, Control Z is your friend too. This part looks really tedious, but I assure you, it's actually kind of fun. Hence why it's easy to get too overzealous and then start erasing too much of the lines. And if you get too meticulous, then you'll be working on this thing for years. So just thin it out enough so that it has some three-dimensional quality and you're good to go. See? And we're done.